Thanks for joining us here on Whether or Not. Brian Mastro's in the studio with your latest weekend forecast. Michael Priante has a feature on wind chill that'll sure to make you shiver. We also have a nature and a news story that is out of this world about a flower. Stay tuned because Whether or Not starts right now. Hello, I'm your host, Ann Rodden.
And I'm your forecaster, Brian Mastro.
Welcome to this week's show of Whether or Not. Earlier this week, we experienced some winter weather out there, lots of snow and ice.
Yeah, or earlier this week on Monday and into Tuesday, we picked up around a couple inches of snow and around a quarter of an inch of ice, which made Tuesday morning's commute quite hazardous for many.
Yeah, it was definitely hard to get around out there, especially going to all of your classes. But the good news is we aren't expecting those conditions this weekend in State College.
Yeah, we're not looking at any bad wintry weather here in State College this weekend, which is good news because we, of course, have Thon here this weekend. So we'll have the full details on the forecast for that coming up and later on.
But for now, here's your Nature in the News.
During Monday night's snowstorm, a local resident took what was supposed to be a routine walk through the Penn State Arboretum with their dog, Sky, a neighbor and their dog as well. The dogs were let off leash and Sky seemed to have vanished. They searched for the missing pup but could not find her anywhere. The Arboretum has sinkholes occasionally form on the premises and Sky unfortunately fell into one. The family could not find the dog until they returned to the Arboretum on Wednesday and heard barking coming from the hole. The hole was about 18 inches wide and was about 8 feet deep. The pup was rescued by Alpha Fire Company and Penn State Campus Police on Wednesday, and after a trip to the vet, she was determined to be perfectly fine after her ordeal and was happily reunited with her family.
More than 80% of Earth's marine life is migrating to different places and changing their breeding and feeding patterns due to warming waters. As ocean water temperatures warm, the distribution of many marine species, including those we rely on for food, will shift due to their dependence on specific water temperatures and nutrient availability. Some marine species have migrated as much as 600 miles away from where they were abundant just a few decades ago. Warmer water temperatures inhibit vital nutrients to thrive, which can cause species to migrate elsewhere to feed if not present. Once those species shift, so must the predators that they rely on for their food. Higher sea surface temperatures along the U.S. northeast coast are causing zooplankton to shift cooler waters. Scientists have found that populations of Atlantic cod in areas where zooplankton have shifted seem to have lower reproductive success. This result may make it harder for the fishing companies to recover.
For the first time ever, a flower has bloomed in space. Astronaut Scott Kelly, who is spending a year in space aboard the International Space Station, has watched over the plant until it bloomed. NASA chose to grow the zinnia flower, which is native to the southwestern United States, as it is a pretty flower, has specific parameters needed to grow, and is similar to food-bearing plants like tomatoes. The plant takes about 60 to 80 days to bloom and became the first flower to grow in space when it bloomed just recently. This development of being able to grow plants in space is an enormous step of progress, as it could mean one day that humans can grow food in space, which could be crucial for long-term space travel for visiting other planets. NASA looks to continue this research with a food-bearing plant soon.
Super Bowl 50 was held this year in Santa Clara, California, in the San Francisco 49ers' new Levi Stadium. This is the first sports stadium in the United States to open with a LEED Gold status from the U.S. Green Building Council. This certification is given to buildings that earn a sufficiently high score in the Council's credit categories, which focus on resource efficiency, sustainability, and cost-effectiveness in design. Levi Stadium is outfitted with 1,162 solar panels, which are designed to annually generate more electricity than is consumed during a 10 home game season for the 49ers. Additionally, about 85% of water that Levi Stadium does use is recycled water by the Santa Clara, California Water District. This recycled water is used for playing field irrigation, watering the stadium's green roof, refrigeration, and cooling the stadium. Whether you rooted for the Carolina Panthers or the Denver Broncos, it was sure to be a green winning game.
Hello, I am student meteorologist Brian Mastro here with your Central Pennsylvania forecast for this weekend. Here's what we're looking at for the setup for this Friday. We do have a low pressure system setting up over the Great Lakes region, and that will be pushing through the region this weekend. And during the day on Friday, we'll have a warm front working through Pennsylvania, and that will bring with it some showers here in State College going into the nighttime hours of Friday. We're not expecting anything too significant, just some nuisance rain showers working their way through the area. Then going into your day on Saturday, that warm front has worked out of the area. However, we could still have a rain shower or two lingering around in the area during the morning hours on Saturday. But once that rain does work out, it leaves us with a gorgeous day for Saturday, as we'll have really warm temperatures up near 50 degrees on Saturday, leaving us with an absolutely gorgeous day, especially for mid to late February. And then going into your day on Sunday, we'll have another mild day as all of that has worked its way out of our region, leaving us with mostly sunny skies and mild conditions here in State College, leaving us with another day with temperatures approaching the upper 40s and even close to 50 degrees here on Sunday. So now here are the full details on what we are expecting here this weekend. It is, of course, Thon weekend here in State College, which we're expecting much better weather than we had last year for Thon, when we had snow working their way through State College, and we picked up a few inches of snow during Thon itself. So this weekend we're not expecting any snow, thankfully, and we are expecting much better weather with temperature coming in at 37 degrees on Friday as the event gets underway. We will have clouds increasing throughout the day on Friday. And then going into Friday night, like I mentioned, those chances for some rain showers does work its way into our areas. We'll drop down to around 34 degrees. So make sure you do grab an umbrella or a rain jacket on your way out the door if you're going into Thon late on Friday night. Then going into the day on Saturday, once those rain showers do work their way out, as we could still have one or two lingering around in the early morning hours of Saturday, we're looking at a high temperature of around 50 degrees, so an absolutely gorgeous day for February here in State College under partly cloudy skies, so make sure you are able to get out there and enjoy it. Then going into Saturday night, we'll drop down to around 33 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. So while that is a bit chilly, it's nothing compared to what it was the last 2 years for Thon, when temperatures were quite chilly, going all the way down into the single digits even 2 years ago. So we won't have to deal with any of those issues associated with the line and people being really cold. And then going into your day for Sunday, another great day to end out the weekend, as we'll have a high temperature of around 48 degrees under partly sunny skies to end out Thon weekend. Just another great day here in State College. That's all I have for you with this weekend's forecast. And now here is Michael Priante with a feature on wind chill.
During the dreary months of winter, most of us know how bad temperatures can actually get, especially after last weekend's cold Arctic outbreak, where we saw temperatures dip into the low single digits here in State College. The winter, however, isn't just dominated by brutally cold temperatures and heavy snowfall. The wind plays a huge role on daily weather conditions throughout the season. When the wind is also paired with cold temperatures, the air may seem colder than if the wind was not blowing. During these days, one can find a wind chill temperature in a daily weather forecast. But what exactly is a wind chill temperature? Well, it's in fact not an actual temperature measurement. This magical number gives a sense of how cold the air would feel like if our skin was exposed to the air. This weather term was coined back in the late 1970s after a scientific expedition was led in Antarctica that tested the effects of wind and cold air on the human skin. They didn't actually use human skin. Rather, they set out cans of water and timed how long the water would freeze. A formula was then developed which took the measurement heat loss from the frozen water cans and related it back to the heat loss that the human skin would lose. Because cans of water are not perfect substitutes for human skin, this formula became outdated until the turn of this new century, where a modified wind chill formula was developed, which is what we use today. The National Weather Service has a chart which shows this wind chill formula and helps indicate the wind chill temperature based on the actual temperature and the sustained wind speed. Also shown are shaded regions which indicate the time it would take for the frostbite to occur. The wind chill can be especially dangerous, so being prepared by covering any exposed skin while walking out in the cold can help prevent the development of frostbite. The wind chill temperature, however, is nothing like the real feel, which is a completely different algorithm developed by and coined by AccuWeather in the 1990s. Its algorithm takes much more than the wind speed and the actual air temperature. It factors in variables such as the humidity, cloud cover, and even the sun angle. The real feel can also be used in the summer months as a substitute to the heat index. Whether you use AccuWeather's real feel or the standard wind chill temperature algorithm, when the wind is blowing, the air temperature may feel much colder than it actually is. Simply put, the forecasted temperature cannot do justice alone when wind speeds are expected to be gusty. So the next time you check the forecast for the temperature, keep the wind in mind to prevent any unwanted consequences. For Whether or Not, I'm Michael Priante.
Thank you for that, Michael. Luckily, we won't be experiencing any frigid wind chills here in State College like we did last weekend. So let's take a look at your extended forecast now for what we are expecting. Here's what we're looking at for your weekend recap. On Friday, we are expecting that high temperature around 37 degrees with that chance of some rain showers working their way into our region late Friday night and into Friday overnight hours headed into the early morning hours of Saturday, when a couple of those could be lingering around in the morning hours before they do work their way out of our region by Saturday afternoon, leaving us with an absolutely gorgeous day here in State College with temperatures near 50 degrees. It'll be an absolutely great day, especially for February. And then going into your day on Sunday, more of the same, with another day with another temperature up near 50 degrees, that high coming in at 48. So it'll be a great end to your weekend as well. So we are looking at absolutely perfect weather conditions for Thon this weekend here in State College. Now here's what we are looking at for next week with your extended forecast. We are looking at those temperatures starting out a little bit above averages, right around 40 degrees for this time for next week. And then those will be dipping back below average as we do work our way through the week. And we are watching the chance of some snow showers and potentially some heavy snow working their way into our area for Tuesday and Wednesday. So make sure you do stay tuned to the latest forecast regarding all of that. And then going into your day on Thursday and Friday, it does begin to clear out and those temperatures do begin to rebound up back near our average.
Well, thanks for that forecast, Brian. I'm really looking forward to those warmer temperatures this weekend.
Yeah, it's a far cry from what we had last weekend when we struggled just to make it out of the single digits on Saturday. However, we're looking at quite a nice weekend here as we'll have temperatures up near 50 degrees. It's going to be a really nice weekend here in central Pennsylvania.
Yeah, well, that's good news for Thon this weekend. But right now, here's your Weather Whiz quiz. Early in the show, we asked, when was the latest below zero temperature reading recorded in State College? A, February 12th, B, February 28th, C, March 5th, or D, March 24th. If you guessed D, you are correct. In March 24th, 1896, it hit -3 degrees here in State College.
Yeah, last weekend we came close. We went down to 2 degrees above zero on Saturday night. However, we're not looking at anything quite like that in our upcoming forecast, which is good news.
Yeah, that's definitely some good news. Well, that's all we have today for your show here on Whether or Not. I'm Ann Rodden.
And I'm Brian Mastro. Have a great rest of your day.